on the Reptile Shed podcast. Sorry, I got a snake on me. And I got Porter here, my co-host for today.
Hi.
So it's going to be a fun show. Before we start, let's go ahead and pay the videos, or the bill, I guess I should say, and roll some sponsorship videos. Snake.
Bye, Ricky.
Bye, Ricky. But yeah. That was awesome videos. All right, and today we have a really special guest. We have Dre, the snake god. Let's go ahead and roll that intro before we get him on.
Hey, what's up, man?
Dre, how's it going?
Pretty good about yourself.
I just wanted to cut straight to the point and just be on.
Sounds
Yeah, we were
good.
talking in the background a lot too. You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You want to
I'm
tell everybody kind of who you are, for everybody that doesn't know you?
Yeah. So I'm Dre by the Snake Guy on all socials. I primarily focus on the larger constrictors. So similar to you, the crazier the better. So the snakes that most people tend to shy away from. Retic, sperms, anacondas, boas. And I have some smaller, medium-sized snakes as well. Green tree pythons. I have a jungle carpet, some white lips as well, and then Gila monsters, beaded lizards, a little bit of everything. But yeah, I try to
Yes.
do my best to help educate others who are not as educated on these animals.
You do a really good job at it too.
I appreciate it. Learning as I go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's freezing a little bit.
Oh, no worries. Cool, you can hear me though.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, so circling back around, you have a lot of big snakes. You're a full-time dad. You have a full-time job.
Yeah.
What else you got going on?
Maintaining the shed, that's pretty much it. I think, that's a full-time job within itself. Because not only do I have to focus on the animals, but, I have to make sure that, I had electric ran underground from the house. I have an AC unit in there to help regulate because Outside right now it's 94 degrees, but in the shed it's like perfect 76. So just doing maintenance on that. I have to clean that AC unit actually, just to make sure it's running properly, so the snakes don't get too hot, and just the daily cleaning, keeping it clean. That's pretty much it. Uh-oh, I think I lost him. There he is.
I'm back. I was saying all of your social media content. That's a full-time job as well.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it, but yeah, it's definitely definitely a job for sure.
And okay, let's go back to your snakes. You have anacondas and larger constrictors. Those.
Yeah. Yeah, anacondas, retics, berms. I think there's what, 3 berms, 4 retics, 4 or 5 boas.
You have some pretty ones too.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm very specific. Like when I pick out animals, I'm just like, I want that one. I want that one, and it's just something particular. Like each animal that I have I'm drawn to it. So, I'm very specific on what exact animal it is.
And you have Joker, which is a pied Burmese python.
Yeah, yep. Pied berm, head albino.
That one's one of my favorites. Where'd you get him from?
I actually got him from a friend of mine. I don't know if you know him, Ian Strathy at
Oh my gosh, that's all over me. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but we sat in the cage and I have reticulated pythons crawling all over me. That was a bad idea.
It was mine.
I think Ian's reptiles and exotics. I think it is reptilian exotics. There it is. That's actually where I got my Gila monster as well. So Ian's a pretty cool dude, good friend of mine. Yeah. He lives like 20 minutes from me.
I love Gila.
Yeah,
I love Gila. How do you love yours?
I love mine. He's super chill. He's laid back. It's my beaded lizard that's a problem. So I got to make sure I glove up with him.
It is the moon. Yes. But yes, and then you have anacondas too. I don't know a lot of people with anacondas. How do you like working with them?
She's a project because she's not as tame as yours, nowhere near as tame as yours. She's always in defense mode. She's handleable. I just have to be in the mood to get bit every now and then, so I don't take her out for people. The only time I really have her out is if like I'm by myself, because I know how she is and she very reactive. So I just kind of deal with her alone. Oddly enough, I want another one, but I want a green instead of a yellow this time. One man show. Okay, let me see if I can answer good. I don't breed them currently, but I am I'm in the process of building up my breeding process. So starting next year, that would be my first year. That would be my first attempt at making. That would be my first breeding attempt. So I'll be starting with northern white-lipped pythons. So.
Dre, let me ask you, between breeding and the reptiles and then doing social media, how much time do you spend doing all of that?
Oof, good question. Are we talking like a day or like a week, or how are we talking?
Let's make it simple and just let's do a day, a normal day.
Ooh, I would say, like, just to give you an idea, I would say like my busiest day when I'm making new content, dealing with the snakes and everything like that, I would say for a day I'd probably average, I would probably say like 6.5 hours, because that's involving, because typically when I make content, I'm in the process of cleaning as well. So I figured if I'm pulling the snake out, I might as well, if I'm pulling the snake out to clean, I might as well make the content as well. So, I mean, unless they're in shed, I make it quick. So generally speaking, because cleaning itself takes me around like 4 hours, and then sometimes I'll stick around in there, and if I know I'm going to make a certain type of video, that particular snake I'll do last, and then that way, once I have them out, I can just make my video real quick, finish cleaning as a closure, pop them back in. But there are days when I'll go out there, snakes just ate, shed's clean, so I can't bother them. And then I'll make one of the reels that doesn't involve the animal, one of the silly ones. And I'll probably be out there like 2, maybe 3 hours, just because a lot of those videos, I don't think people understand, like, to get it right or to get it to where I want it, I do it
Yes.
over and over and over. So, but on a normal day, I would say about 6.5 hours, and that's generally multiple times a week. And that's why I said luckily that I work from home, because I do have I have internet out there specifically for that
Right.
reason. So I can work while I'm out there. I can do lives. I can, respond to comments. I can do what I need to do. So, I got everything out there except a bed. So I'm out there quite a bit.
Right. Well, it looks like Mark's back. And so I'm going to go ahead and slide backstage.
Sounds good,
I'm
man.
back.
Welcome back. I ran it for like a quick 30 seconds. Somebody popped the question in there, so I was able to answer it real quick.
Awesome. No, that's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, it's still choppy in my end. I have no idea why. But you can hear me fine.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Awesome. Where were we at? Anacondas.
Yes. Yeah, I said mine's nowhere near as friendly as yours. But she's still a pleasure to work with. And I use her as kind of that teaching piece to show people, like, as much as I advocate for snakes, the realistic side of it is when you have a large collection, you're going to have at least one or two that are not going to want to, tame down, so to speak. So we have to also remember, these are snakes. So it's okay. And I try to be as transparent in my content as possible. Like, not every day is going to be all fun and dandy. They have moods where they don't want to be bothered, and you have to respect that. So, but I do pull her out. I make content with her just like the rest, and I show people, like, this is how I react to a snake bite, or this is what it looks like, or whatever the case may be, just to kind of show people the ins and outs of what it looks like, because we all know people think snakes are the closest thing to the devil, and I literally just got called Satan last night. So, I just like to be transparent with people. Like, it happens. Like, it's like, okay, like, dogs can do 10 times more damage than the snake can. So I'll take 30 snake bites before I take one dog bite. And I'm talking from a Jack Russell, because they can do some damage too. So just showing people, like, okay, it bit me. Whoop-de-doo. A little bit of blood. And, I just make sure that I don't put her right back immediately. Because honestly, with her, J-Lo, once she bites you like a good 2 times, then she's like, okay, cool, I'm done. Then she's chill. So just kind of like that, that I don't know, hazing you got to get to hold her, because she's getting big. She's pushing almost 6 foot now. And she's actually got a new enclosure coming. She's got a new 8 foot coming soon. So we do a nice water feature in there for her as well. So I'm pretty excited. Although she hates me, I still love her. And this is also something I explain. Like, some people are like, why don't you get rid of her? What's the point? Like, you can't learn anything from a snake that's already tamed, because they're going to do whatever you want them to do. That snake that's bothered or defensive, they're going to teach you exactly what to look for, how to deal with them, how to handle them. Those are the snakes you need. So it doesn't bother me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And nothing tests your skills like an anaconda.
Yeah, exactly. And like I tell people, because I've had someone ask me, how do they differ from other snakes? I'm like, the main difference is they don't warn you before they bite. They're just going to do it. They're just gonna do it. And then also, they're not like, pythons or boas, which are real good at it. They'll cock back and hone in on what they're about to strike at. No, they'll just, soon as they feel something touch their face, they'll just bite it. Turn their head and bite it real quick, and it's just like, it is what it is.
Oh yeah, I always tell people they're very head shy.
Yeah. Yep. And it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
Have you noticed any other behavioral differences with the anacondas versus like reticulated pythons?
At least mine seems to be very private. Like, she's either submerged in her water, or she's in her hide. I've even saw her burrowing a few times. I was like, that's interesting. But she's not one to be out in the open. She's always hiding somewhere, whether it's in the water. And although she's in the water and I can see her, as we both know, water gives them the ultimate security. But other than that, no, not really. She's just as, she has just as crazy as a food drive. She's always hungry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. She's very fast. So one thing I can say, like if I do let her out in the grass sometimes, just like all of my snakes, just the tree snakes don't go out in the grass, but the large constrictors I let out in the yard just to kind of just get some of that natural sun, explore a little bit, and she's taking off. So if I let her out, I do it with a snake hook so I can catch her because she's fast. But
I have a
other than
question.
that, not too many.
How old are your kids and how do they interact with the big snakes?
Yes, my
Mom asked
daughter's
that
5.
question.
My daughter's 5. She actually loves the snakes. I've posted videos on my Facebook and Instagram of her interacting with them. I teach her how to do it respectfully, but not fearfully. So I try to teach her like, it's a snake, it's an animal, but don't overthink it. They're not going to bother you as long as you treat them with respect. And she interacts with them very well. I just did an event yesterday with a bunch of kids with my largest retic Django, and I mean, kids aren't naturally afraid. It's just kind of something that they learn from adults. A lot of the kids never even seen a snake in person before, never touched one, and they flocked right to me, and they did their thing. Snakes did good. So, but my daughter, she's used to it. Her summer camp hired me for their summer program, and I did an event there as well. So, the kids naturally, in general, enjoy the reptiles.
What other events have you done?
Typically I do like schools, camps. I've done some events around the city. I have a city event coming up. It's like organized by like our Columbus Police. So I do that event as well. I think that's a little closer to September. And it's just like a fundraiser, to help with like gun violence and stuff like that. So yeah, I try to each year I get busier and busier because I don't really like advertise, I guess, that I do these events, only because a lot of the times I still work throughout the week and I don't have the freedom to do what I want. And the social media money is nice, but it's not where I quite want it to be, to where I can like, hey, I'm gonna leave this job. So right now I'm just kind of limited to what I can do on the weekends. So
Right.
yeah.
And you got a lot of shows coming up. Do you plan on going to any?
Yes. I had to cancel. I was gonna go back out to Cali for Anaheim, but I have an event that weekend, so I'm not gonna make that one. But I'll definitely be at October Tinley. Trying to make Daytona as well. Those are probably the only two I'll be able to make, just because this year's been crazy. But and then Retic Fest. Those three.
I was going to say something about Retic Fest.
Yeah, Retic Fest. That's in PA. That's only 3 hours from me. So yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, we have a Cluebridge Fest in September. I really want to go to that.
Nice, nice. Where's that at?
What's that?
Where's the Kluber Fest at? I think I've seen posted on it before.
It's somewhere on the East Coast. I'm not sure. I'm on
Got
the
you,
West
got you.
Coast. So,
Okay.
but yeah, so Retic Fest, where you said that's in where?
Pennsylvania, Reach Out Reptiles hosted.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
amazing. Obviously, I love Retic, so I definitely
Yeah.
want to go to that.
Yeah, you definitely should check it out. I hear good things. I always miss it because I never know the dates, but I know the dates this year, and like I said, it's near Pittsburgh. And I'm like, that's like 3 hours from me, which I drive that easy. So I'm just like, I should try to go this year. I got 4 retics. I'm just like, I should go. So I want to definitely check it out.
What's your biggest thing?
At the moment, it's Django, my Mochino male. He's about 9 foot, but he's still pretty young. He's only about 3.5. So he's just recently, probably well not super recent, but a few months ago, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, just started consistently eating pigs and rabbits. Because if I give him a jumbo rat, he's swallowing it in like 2 minutes. And I'm just like, okay, we need to move you up. But he wouldn't take pigs at first. And then I just did a video of how I can get him to take his pigs, and now I don't have any issues.
Yeah, I live. There's a lot of farms around the area, so I'll get like stillborn animals, sheep, goats, stuff like that. It's really nice for the bigger snakes.
Oh
Our
yeah, it's
biggest
real
one is
convenient.
18 feet.
Nice. I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, sheep is a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine it. 18 feet, that's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah, I'll get your plans for when they get bigger.
Okay.
What are your
I'm sorry, what'd you
plans
say?
for snakes get bigger?
What are my plans for? I would hope to. My goal is to. I would love to have just a bigger facility. where I can actually do tours and things like that, do more educating, and ultimately give them bigger enclosures. That's the main goal. Um, but yeah, I mean, as they bigger, I mean, because right now the biggest enclosures I have are 8 foot. Clearly, that's not going to be the stopping point. They need bigger. So that's my goal, whether it be to like get some type of storefront or even some type of like private warehouse facility that's just bigger. That is ultimately what I would like to do.
Nice. Are you gonna get any more anacondas in the future? I was gonna ask that earlier.
Yeah, I actually have one on hold.
What? Get out of here.
I have a green on hold right now.
That's amazing. Male or female?
Huh?
Male or female?
Female.
Oh, female. Nice.
Yeah. I don't plan on breeding. Honestly, a lot of like my larger snakes, like the retic, I don't plan on breeding any retics. A lot of them I use just mostly for the education. So you take these snakes that society has told you to be scared of, and you tame them down and you get them desensitized to certain things, and you take them to events, and it changes people's views because these specific species are told to have this crazy appetite, and they'll eat you and this and that. So yeah, I like to take the animals that people are terrified of, and I work with them. My first snake was a blood python, and Kato, which is I still have, and a lot of people even by that were just like, no, you shouldn't get them. They have this, and they're crazy, and it's just like, I'm not the type of person that's going to take anybody's word for anything until I get my own experience. And I feel like a lot of the times, the experience that these people have are old. These are from, when people were in the 80s still importing animals, and you were dealing with, wild caught, bloods, wild caught retics. Of course, these animals aren't going to be friendly. They've been snatched from their natural habitat. So, I mean, that's naturally, how that works. But I'd like to try to show people like, okay, cool, your animal's biting, your animal's striking. This is how you should go about it. This is how you can prevent that. This is how you work around it. So, I mean, it's part of which, I'm sure you keep some of the same animals. I mean, it's a part of reptile keeping. People, that's the main thing. Does it bite? I'm like, well, it has teeth. Like asking if a snake, can bite is like asking if a dog is going to bark. I mean, it's kind of what comes with it. It's natural behavior. So if you're, everybody knows, every reptile keeper that keeps snakes knows, being bit is not the worst thing that can happen. It's being peed on, being pooped on. It's 10 times worse than being bit because the smell is horrible.
Unless you keep venomous.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I was gonna
Absolutely.
say, I have a red spitting cobra, and his parents were caught in Tanzania, Africa, and they were shipped to Texas. So he was born from them in Texas. He's an F1, and now he has a clutch on the way with a mate. So those will be F2s, which is super.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited about
Sweet.
that.
Congrats, man.
But yeah, so yeah, back to snake bites. You get bit a lot, would you say? Or
Now, with me, it's like if I do get bit, it's like it'll happen like maybe like 2 or 3 times like in a month, but then I'll go like 2 or 3 years without being bit. So it's just like, but if I get bit, I know why. And 9 times out of 10, if I get bit, it's the anaconda. The anaconda, I know, like if I'm pulling her out, I know I'm going to take a bite. I don't get bit as much in the wintertime because I wear long sleeves, but it's like days like this, because I am going to pull her out sometime soon because it's nice out, it's warm, the sun is out. But I want to show people like her iridescence and show people like, like how big she's gotten. So I know it is what it is, but I feel like as bad as a reputation that anacondas have, retic bites hurt worse in my opinion. That's like anacondas have just like a little bit of a smaller, narrower mouth, so it's like ow. But a retic bite, like my cow bit me when she was like 2 foot. She bit me in the palm of my hand, but it felt like a lizard bite almost. I was like, what the fuck? Ow. But she's I reached in there to change her water, and I didn't snake hook her because I figured this is, again, she's a baby, so she was at the back of her tub, so I'm like, I'll be okay. And as soon as I reached in there to grab that bowl, wow, I was like, whoa. But she's pushing like 7 foot now. She's super friendly. She just can't hold her bladder, I guess. So, but no, I'm working with her. I know typically she does that because she doesn't like to be held too much. So usually when I pull her out, I'll hold her over the trash can. I know within like the first 10 minutes of holding her, she's going to use the bathroom. Once she uses it in the trash can, then she's fine. Handles great.
That's awesome. I freaking love anacondas. I found out they were social. So I keep my male and female together. But
Oh,
one's
nice,
male,
nice.
one's a green. So, and then
You
really
have a
wild
yellow.
cat.
You have yellows or greens? I know you have a yellow.
Yeah, green and yellow.
Oh,
And
nice,
the green,
nice, nice.
I take she's met hundreds of thousands of people. I'll take her and be like, "Oh, have you never held a snake before? Here you go."
Oh, yeah,
It's so
yeah, and I get a lot of people that ask me like, how do you know that your snakes will be tame for an event? And I'm just like, a lot of the time it's reading body language, and then once snakes have been in situations for, they just kind of get used to it. They're comfortable. So I can like the event I did yesterday. It was a bunch of kids. Some of the kids were rowdy, but I'm still confident in what my snakes their temperament, that they're not going to react in a negative way. Now, if it gets out of hand, then I'm like, hey, you need to back up because you're getting a little too rowdy. You're jumping near my snake's face. Step on my snake, then I'm gonna have to fight you. And I'll fight a kid. I will definitely fight a kid. But usually I don't have any issues. They kind of just snakes that just kind of slither off, do their thing, and I'll just walk with them. Make sure they stay out of trees and things like that. Because I did have one time where one of the snakes got in a tree. Took me like 2 hours to get him down. So I was like, oh yeah, we're not doing this again.
yeah, right. I've always had him to help socialize the animals, so they've gotten socialized with kids by him.
Yeah. Usually I have like my niece. She's been around. She's been around for forever. So she's usually kind of like my helper. I'm like, hey, go get that one, or hey, and I know she'll, with 100% confidence, go pick up my biggest snake and know she's not gonna get bit or anything like that. So that's fine. I don't have any issues there. But there's some events I do by myself. Kids can get a little rowdy. But honestly, I worry more about the adults than the kids because the kids will listen for the most part. It's the adults. In my experience, a lot of the adults, you tell them what not to do or you tell them what to do, and then they try to do something, and I'm just like, no, don't do that. So I feel like the adults are a little more hard-headed than the kids when it comes to it. So
For sure. They have old bad habits. I always tell everybody.
yeah.
Out of your whole collection, what are your two favorite snakes? 'Cause it's hard to pick one.
Oh, easy. Kato, the blood python, first snake I ever got. Bloods are my favorite species
Really?
over any snake, hands down. My favorite large species is going to be Burms, though. Burms all day. Burms all. But I mean, I can literally go through and tell you why each snake is my favorite. But I mean, if I ran down the list, my top four: Bloods, Burms, White Lips, Green Trees. Top four right there. Even my Green Tree is chill. I love when I like post a picture of them. People are like, oh man, you gotta be careful with those. They'll bite you. And then I'll tag that person in the video, and I'm holding it, and he's not doing anything. And I'm just like, don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read either. Get your own experience. It's the best teacher. But yeah, Green Trees, White Lips, Bloods, and Burms. Top four favorite species, hands down. My favorite animal, though, my entire collection, is my Gila monster.
Yeah.
He's the coolest lizard. He's super chill. I actually have two. But the one I take out is ODB. He's super chill. He's super cool. Like I can literally be feeding him and rub his chin, and he'll close his eyes and lay his head back. It is the funniest thing ever. Never tried to bite me. He can get a little feisty when you get him out of his enclosure, but once he's out, super chill.
Are you gonna breed any Gilas or Betas in the future?
I don't plan on it. I'll leave it at that.
No.
I'll leave
What
it
are you
at
gonna
I
breed in the
don't
future?
plan on it. Because I know for sure I don't want to breed any retics. That's something I'm certain about. But with Gilas, I'm just gonna say I don't plan on it, but plans change. So we'll see. But what I'll be focusing on, like I just picked up, not here yet, but I just got a adult male captive white lip for my female. Um, she's female, she's captive as well. She's pushing about 6 foot, and I think the male's pushing about 7 foot. So that upgrade that she just got, I want to be able to introduce the male into that enclosure. They have more space. There'll be sky hides, there's heat, there's climbing, there's low hides where they can actively breed in there. That'll be the first species that I start with. From there, I do plan on doing boas. I have IMGs that I want to get to breeding. I'm just waiting for the females to get up to size, and then Burms. Pied Burm is head albino. I just got my hands on a visual albino pied because he is head albino. So I don't plan on doing any mass producing. I don't want to be stuck with a lot of animals, and I don't want my narrative to change from the teaching side of it. But I do, I would love to reproduce some animals. But yeah,
That's awesome. Brian's asking, can we see some of your animals? Or do you have any animals you want to show us?
Yeah, I can go out there. There we go. Turn my phone this way. One second. It may get a little wonky for a minute. I'll just have to reconnect to the Wi-Fi out there. Give me 1 second.
Awesome, no worries. And I know I have Steve backstage, and he's itching to come out. And I don't know if Brian wants to come out, but feel free to come out if you guys want to.
He had that show that he's doing, so he had to go. But I can slide out for a couple minutes, no problem.
Perfect.
I'll let Dre get back to his reception out in his reptile house.
Bye-bye.
But so how's your week been going, Mark?
It's been going great. It's been super busy. I have my son this week, so he's out of school, which is super awesome. We've been going to the ocean. We went to the movies last night. That was super fun.
So what did you guys go see?
We saw Final Destination.
Oh, really?
he's really into scary things. You can tell by his Pennywise sweater right here. I am not into scary things. I don't do scary movies.
You just watched
So.
Alrighty, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you.
Alright, it's taking a minute for this new Wi-Fi to connect, but it's a little junky in here because I've been working on projects. Let me turn my camera around.
So excited to be in the famous shed.
As soon as I figure out how do I turn my camera around on here. Sure. Oops.
Oh, I think he hit the wrong one. I think he hit the wrong button. Well, he should be back here shortly. There he is.
Sorry, I'm trying to turn my camera around here.
You're right. You're right.
It's cool. I'll just put you guys on a tripod and do it this way. So yeah, this is like the main stack that I'm always kind of in front of. These are 2 stacks of 4 foots. So majority of these animals are all going to be going into 6 and 8 foots. But let me. There it is. I'll pull out. So here's one of my Burms. This is Aphrodite right here. So she's about 3 years old, super friendly, super laid back, super chill. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. And this is actually her shed right here. She just gave me 2 days ago.
Wow.
So I just got it hanging out. Like, a lot of people are like, do you get sheds? Do you get good sheds and shit? Got a whole pile over here. Like I said, everything is temperature monitored. So I got like my remote. Here's my AC unit. It is insulated. I don't have any issues, especially this time of year, because like when I turn the air on, as you can see, how fogged up it gets. And sometimes I have to like go in there just to wipe it down. But you know, it doesn't get cold because they still have their hot spots and everything like that. So I mean, the sheds work great. Yeah, this is her. She just shed. She's my green het granite.
Beautiful.
Super sweetheart. She was one of the ones that did that event with me yesterday. Got
That's so awesome.
I'll show this guy. He's real popular.
Do you have your blood python?
Yeah. He's right here in this 6 foot right here.
What about blood pythons make them your favorite?
Oh man, I just remember one. I like that they have a bad reputation because I get to prove people wrong with mine. You know, as most of my snakes. But also, I like that you can get the experience of a big snake without actually having like that massive snake like retics. But they're very intelligent. A lot of people don't think that they are. They're very intelligent. And I just like that I just like how they look. I like that heavy body stature. I just like how they look, honestly.
Right.
I call him like a gaboon viper.
Here,
Just like a gaboon viper.
pretty much, we call them not non-spicy gaboons because they literally they do the belly crawling like gaboons. It's very similar behavior. Here's the green tree.
Oh wow!
So I've been trying to move towards more of like a naturalistic. So he's got like an actual branch in here. It's like a 2-pronged branch, so he'll hang out right here sometimes.
Me?
And then this is what I just worked on. This 3-level caging system right here. So here's the beaded lizard. He's in there sleeping.
Oh, cute.
Got the white lip in here. I actually have to finish hers today because her bulb came today. I have to add a new socket. I do all my own sockets and everything and wiring. And then let's see, I have to put you guys down lower so you can see this girl.
You have an IMG photo, right?
You got some.
Yeah, I have 2 items. Oh, here's the carpet hanging out on hers, and she left me a nice little gift down there. But we got branch shirts all the way across, and again, we're gonna do sky hides. I'm gonna add a sky hide on this side. I'm just waiting for the brackets to get here. But this is Nirvana, and then that's Aurora, the white lip, and then we got DMX, little asshole.
And you said a sky high.
I have 2 IMGs. Yeah.
Sorry.
So basically, it's just the you take a hide, you get brackets, mount them to the top of the enclosure. You flip that hide upside down, and it slides in, and they can actually go up there and sleep up there. So it's pretty cool for your arboreal species.
And
Never thought of that.
And then we got
can I ask, Dre, how much have you invested into your collection and making building out your own enclosures and everything?
Oh man, the shed itself was like $6K, and that's before like hiring an electrician and getting stuff installed. Once that was done, that jumped up to $9K. But as far as enclosures, I mean, if we're speaking snakes themselves, this is one of the IMGs. Him alone, he was 3,000.
What?
And then the other one, I'm not feeding you right now. The other one is in shed, but he was another 7K. So I mean, me personally, when I tally everything up, I'm closer to like 20K. But that's just in the last year. That's just in the last year. I got this shed last May.
Okay.
And since then it's just been more and more. It's been worth it though, because I don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about having them in a room. They're outside. They're doing their own thing. I can do whatever the hell I want in here, and I'm gonna spend even more. Like I got more snakes coming. It adds up. But I just keep making alterations. So this whole this whole side right here is about to change. So show you. So this is Django. This is my 8-foot enclosure. I'm actually gonna be selling these. So Kato's getting an upgrade. Everybody's getting an upgrade. Kato's getting an upgrade, and I'm gonna be stacking more 8-foots. This rack I built like 4 years ago. This is a DIY rack for like some of my smaller snakes. This is gonna be going bye-bye because they're gonna be getting upgraded into these because these snakes are moving over. And the wall is gonna be 6 and 8 foots.
Wow.
Building
So
isn't huge, but I've measured everything out. That's why I'm going 8 foots on this side and 6 foots on this side because that puts me at just enough space. I think like once everything is in here, I'll have literally like 16 inches of playroom that I haven't used. So I had to be smart. But like I said, once I get like a bigger space, I'll definitely do some. Because honestly, this whole shed can be a retic enclosure. This whole room can be a retic enclosure if it wanted to. But yeah. So and I'll even show you some of the babies in here because I like some of the the things that, like I said, people aren't necessarily too keen on. So I like the large species. So this girl is somewhat newer with me. This is my rock python. This is Nala.
Yeah.
So she's a rock python.
Oh my
So I just got
God.
this girlfriend of mine, and he was just downsizing, and she's a sweetheart.
So
As you
jelly.
see. Yeah,
Oh.
she's a sweetheart. So, Mark, I'm going to tell you something. The reason I'm getting the anaconda, I need the anaconda and then a scrub. Once I get those, I'll have officially the top 5 world's largest species of snakes. And I'm super excited about that. So I have the retics, I have the berm, I have the anaconda, which, I mean, I'll be getting the green, but right now we just talked about the yellow. But the scrub and the green, that'll officially make it the top 5. And I know there's some notable mentions like the Indian rock and the olives, but pretty sure the African rocks get just a little bit bigger than the Indian rocks. But I got lucky, and she's a sweetheart, so super happy about that. But I got her. Here's the other IMG. Oh, he shed. That is perfect.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys can see, but he's got red eyes.
You said that was a
That is
$7,000
perfect. So he's got red eyes. Yeah, he's more expensive than the last one because I can pull him out real quick. He's actually ready to breed. The sad part, I actually tried to sell him, and there were a lot of people that thought he was going to come cheap. So I had people like, I got $800. I'm like, he's not going anywhere for under $3K. And that was me being generous. That is a beautiful shed. So this is perfect example of another beautiful shed. He's holding on to it, actually. But this is him.
Amazing.
But look at his eyes. He's got red eyes.
That's
This is
great.
And then the other dark side. So I just made it easy because it's sunny out. Yeah, we can make some more nice content. And we got another full shed. So I'll add that to the pile. But yeah, this is episode as well because it's not gonna look the same. We're getting new drywall, we're getting new paint. I mean, I got like a lot of my supplies right here, so like gloves. I keep like Prevenamite, Dawn dish liquid, and stuff like that on hand.
I can help you.
My favorite part about the shed, though, this utility cart. That's my favorite part. This utility cart is probably my favorite thing because it's the most convenient. I stack on it, even like some of the feeding videos I post on Facebook. I lay them out like they're on a hibachi grill. And I just go through, separate them, sort them, and do what I need to do. And it is super convenient. Convenient.
Now, the reptiles, is that something you think you're going to make up into a business, or is it something you're just going to stay as a hobby?
That's the goal. I mean, why not do both? I think as long as you do it right and you're genuine about it, you can definitely make money from it. Just, I think there are a lot of people who get into it for the money, which is why they aren't successful. because they're not thinking. They're thinking about the money, but not thinking about they're not being logical and they're not being ethical. They're doing it to get money. So I think as long as I stay true to the message I set out for, I'll be okay. But either way, I got a daughter to take care of and I got bills to pay. So we'll make sure the money's made. But I feel like at this point, this isn't something I can just give up on. So absolutely.
Right. Now, where can people get a hold of you or reach out to you to purchase one of your animals when you are selling? Are you currently
Lost
selling?
you for just a split second.
Oh,
can you repeat that? Lost you for a split second.
I was going to ask, where can people reach out to you or get a hold of you if they wanted to purchase one of your animals if you are selling or when you start selling?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm friends with Mark on there. Facebook, I'm under just my name, which is Dre Williams, but in parentheses, you'll see Snake God, the Snake God. And then also on Instagrams, the Snake God. I'm on YouTube as well under the Snake God. I've been slacking on there. I'm on TikTok, but I don't post on there. I don't really take it that serious because it's just like, but Instagram and Facebook are my main two platforms that I can say. Like I said, Dre Williams. In parentheses, it'll say the Snake God, and you'll see a picture holding my green tree python. And on Instagram, same picture, same name, the Snake God.
Okay.
And tell us about your Snake God name.
Yeah, I got a lot of hate for that. So,
I
was telling you, I just got called Satan last night. I just got called Satan last night, and I don't necessarily like making anything about race. But some of the comments and messages that I've gotten just, since I've been in the reptile industry it's crazy. And it's like, I've literally had some of my own people tell me, we don't do that. And I'm like, who is me? I don't do stereotypes. I do what I want to do. And I refuse to teach my child to live in fear just because she's uneducated. That's not being a good parent to me. So, but the name Snake God within itself, I'm not religious. But at the end of the day, it's a word to me. And the fact that there are people that get upset because they want you to feel the same way about something that they feel is asinine to me. I have plenty of friends who are Christian. They're some of my best friends, actually. They're some of my biggest supporters, and they know I do something. I'm not being, malicious about it. But the name literally came because initially my name was DW Exotics, which is my initial, but everybody uses the word exotics in the reptile world. Everybody. And it got to a point where I'm like, dang, I'm starting to kind of blend in. I'm starting to kind of, just be that, just another reptile person. And my whole goal in life is to be remembered for something positive. And it's funny because even when I'm on like camera and everything, people are just like, oh, you seem so tall. I'm 5'5". I am 5'5". So when people meet me at Echo, they're like, oh shoot. I'm like, yeah, like I'm trying to tell you. But that's kind of where the rebranding came from. I wear gold grills, got a gold nose ring and everything like that. And it's all to show people you can look however you want, but you can still get your message across. I do that on purpose because when people look at me and they see face tattoos, they see arms tatted, they see gold teeth and everything like that, and then they hear me talk, and I've even had people like, well, you sound white. And I'm like, well, sounding proper isn't sounding white. It's sounding proper. I'm educated. I went to school. That's just how that works. But when people, try to debate and they realize, oh, he knows a lot more than I do, then they're just so confused. That is the look that I love. Just like when people are so confused on how I can do this and do that, and it's just like, well, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Like, and the message really is for the next generation. Because I don't know about you guys, and you probably have. I was that weird kid out in the fields looking for bugs, looking for snakes, and we got made fun of for stuff like that. And it's just like no other kid should have to go through that because they're passionate about something. Because guess what? There was somebody just last week, a neighbor who necessarily doesn't speak to me but she had a snake in her yard and she came to knock on my door. So it's just like you never know when you're gonna need somebody, which is ironic because we don't get a lot of. I'm in Central Ohio. Up here, and it's the suburbs. So up here, we don't see a lot of like reptiles. We'll see coyote and deer before we'll see a snake. We'll see a frog before we see a snake. But it was just an eastern rat snake. And I grabbed him up and, oh my gosh, thank you. I've lived out here for like 11 years. You've never spoken to me. I said hi to you before, and you just ignored me. So I just found that, I found that to be kind of ironic, but things like that is why I'm just like, keep doing what you're doing. Because no matter what, they'll need you before you need them. Let's keep it simple.
100%, and you can't say it no better than what you just did. That is 100%.
Yeah.
So for me, I have one more question for you, and Mark knows I keep my questions a little lighthearted, more fun. So my last question for you is, if you can go on any dream vacation that anywhere in the
Mhm.
world, you can take anybody that you want, where would that be, and who would you take besides your family, of course?
Oh. Me will probably be Santorini, Greece.
Oh, nice.
That's definitely, it's beautiful out there. Either there or Bora Bora. I want to go somewhere secluded, phones off, cut off from the world, and we just enjoy this moment. I wouldn't take my whole family. Definitely would take my parents, my daughter, and I got a special lady friend in the background. She'd be there, of course. But that's probably about it. That's probably about it. Just cut off for a minute, relax,
Nice.
enjoy the water, enjoy the scenery.
Just cut off from the whole, social media, all that. That's awesome. Because for
Absolutely.
me, my dream vacation would be somewhere like the Amazons or somewhere in the wild woods, because I love being
See,
out
I
in
couldn't
there.
even call that a vacation because I'd end up looking for animals. I'd end up doing there what I do here. I gotta go somewhere where I'm cut off and I'm forced to relax. Yeah, but I would love to go abroad though. Probably not the best time right now since we just entered into a war, but hey, there's. I want to say we got time, but who knows? Who knows?
Right.
But that would be it for sure. That would be it.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have for you. Thank you for coming out tonight. I'm going to go ahead, slide backstage, and let Mark finish up the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me,
I do
man.
have a question.
Mhm.
Why do you have no benefits? Stinks.
So, me personally, the state of Ohio, we have to get permits and everything for them, which isn't a problem. I just feel like they make you jump through too many hoops to
No,
get it.
I don't have. I don't
So
like
they'll
permits.
deny you
Yeah,
for
I
like
get
the
it.
slightest. Yeah, they'll deny you for the slightest thing. And being a content creator, I like to show off my animals. I like to educate people. And I don't want to be one of those, content creators or people where you see on the news like, oh, reptile keeper illegally keeping. So I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, just not worth it.
If you ever move, are you going to plan on getting any? Like, if you could just move out of state tomorrow, would you get any?
Absolutely, yeah.
Where would you get?
Because you said what would I get? Man, I got a list: Bushmaster, Gaboon, Insularis. You said what?
Oh, we just got another pair of West African Gaboon Vipers in.
Nice.
And
Yeah, I would love to get
a
a Gaboon, a Monocle Cobra. I don't think I could go King Cobra. I feel like they get massive, and they're very fast.
I'm gonna get a Chinese one.
I just don't think that that's something that I can actually handle, and I got a daughter to go home to. So I don't want her watching the news like, oh yeah, your dad's dead because he got bit. So I try to be mindful of that too. But yeah, there's a few others I just can't think, but those are like the main ones. Bushmaster is probably definitely one of my favorites.
So easy.
The Boom Viper,
in Oregon, you
Insularis
can have
for
a normal
sure.
one, but you can't have a black-headed one without a permit.
That's weird. You see, I would if I were to move, it would be to like Indiana, just like the next state over, but they don't have permits on anything.
That'd be cool.
Well, they do, but it's literally something you can just go buy. You don't have to here. You have to either prove experience or take a test,
right?
And then they take forever to get back. I'm just like, eh. But I will have to deal with them because they have a law here where snakes 12 foot and bigger, we have to have a permit for. So
no
I got 4 retics, 3 berms. Yeah, yeah. So
What?
that's okay. I can deal with that. I'm fine with that because I got time. It is what it
That's
is. My
crazy.
biggest snake is 9 foot.
There's
Yeah,
a.
it's but that's I gotta
I was
think
gonna
about
say
where I
last.
live.
There's it's called Coos Bay, and in the city limits, you can't have an adult reptile that gets over 2 feet.
Gets over two
Is that-
feet.
yeah, that's pretty much
So basically,
everything.
all you can keep is a leopard gecko.
Or
Best thing you
insane.
can keep a leopard gecko. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
What do you have?
insane. Or I the
Yeah,
city limits, so we can that stuff. But
So did you back in 2014? Have you ever heard about the Zanesville massacre?
so I hear about the what?
Zanesville massacre.
Uh-uh.
So Zanesville is a small city about 45 minutes south of me. There's a
Okay.
guy who had a ton. He had tigers, bears, mountain lions, jaguars, pretty much anything you name it, wolves. Um, he got into some trouble. He was illegally selling guns, and the ATF caught him. So he let all of his animals go, and he shot and killed himself because he wanted the animals to feed on his body. Jack Hanna was the one running our zoo here at the time, and he got involved. And it took them like 6, 7 months to capture all these animals because one of the animals made it like past here. It's like this is 45 minutes from there in a car. So imagine a four-legged animal making it past here, and they found, and it was a leopard. They found up like almost near Cleveland.
Oh my gosh.
So that's when they made all these rules and bans. So now you have to have a permit. You're no longer because I'm in a suburb called Gahanna. There was a neighbor like 2 blocks over that had tigers, so we could hear them like roaring sometimes. And now you can't have tigers, you can have lions, which to me that's understandable. What do you need? Like that's something that if it gets upset, you can't control. If my snake is pissed off, I'm gonna shove it back in there with a snake hook and lock the door, and we'll try again tomorrow. A tiger, that's not gonna work. But they came down on pretty much everything, and so now, yeah, you have to have so snakes 12 foot and bigger, you have to have a permit for, and then venomous, you have to have a permit for any elapid or anything that falls under venomous, and then they categorize boom slang as its own separate category, and then you have to have like insurance, and yeah, it's a lot. So
That's crazy.
yeah, it's other than that though, it's not too bad. I don't mind. I just from what I hear, because ours, we don't have like a FWC. Ours is ran by the Department of Agriculture, and they have like an animal branch, which is like under animal control and everything like that. It falls under the Department of Agriculture. So we don't have like a wildlife commission. It just falls under the Department of Agriculture. So they handle like all of like the farm people, the people that, breeding, livestock. It's all handled umbrella under that.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
Very.
It's crazy. You go state to
Yeah.
state, county to county. It's crazy how the laws differ. Like in the county I live in, I can't have venomous without a permit. So all of my venomous are in a different county, which is a mile up the road. So a mile up the street, you can legally have venomous animals. But
Yeah, it's
where I'm at on the border, I can't. So
weird how
I have
they
to
do
go over at friends' houses until I figure it out.
right. Look for
Crazy.
property a mile up the road.
Yeah, exactly. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Or somewhere, but yeah. Before we end the show, is there anything you want to talk about or say to the audience?
No, I mean, I appreciate joining as always. I know we chit chat up a lot on Facebook and, sharing memes and conversing. So I appreciate the opportunity, man. I'm always, enjoying, jumping on podcasts to talk to like-minded people. And it's just, I appreciate everybody that joined. Appreciate the comments, the questions, and everything. So thank you.
Uh-huh. And I had Nicole on here, and you know her, so I've seen you guys on podcasts together a lot.
Yeah. I'm the brother she never wanted. That's what I tell people.
I know Sean's watching
I'm
too.
that annoying little brother to her.
What's that?
Huh? I said I'm Nicole's annoying little brother.
Yeah. And then we have Sean watching too, which he likes you a lot. The yo-yo experience.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Thank
Cool.
you,
Is there
Debbie.
any questions? Do you have any questions for him? You don't have any questions for him? None? None whatsoever? He's shy. What? Oh, he has a question. Do you have any ball pythons?
That's the one animal I'm just not interested in keeping. If it's not something that people don't worry about me going to the hospital for, I don't keep it.
I don't keep it. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and that's something I get. People make fun of me for because they're like, "You hate ball pythons." I'm like, I don't hate ball pythons. I'm just not into them. There's so many other species to appreciate other than ball pythons, but I have plenty of respect for people that are into ball pythons. I like too many species to just focus on one. That's the best way I can put it.
And yeah, you like the bigger species.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then are there any other, before we end the show, are there any other morphs of like retics or Burmese pythons you're going to get?
Yeah, I just bought an visual albino pied berm, and then I'll be adding
What?
a visual albino pied. So my Joker is head albino, but he's not visual. I'm getting an albino visual so I can prove him out, and then I'll be adding a golden child tiger pied retic.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Can't wait to see
That
it.
is
Are you
pretty
going to
much
get any
it.
retics from Nicole?
I haven't talked to her recently. Give me 1 second.
Hey,
So, hold on. Give me a second. Uncle's on the podcast, okay? Go ahead. I'll be right back. But yeah. Sorry, it's my daughter and my nephew knocking on the door. Like, can we see the snakes? I'm like, we're about to go to the water park.
I got 4 kids, so we totally get it. We'll go ahead and wrap up the show.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, you want to let
All right,
everybody
man.
know
I
where they can
appreciate you.
follow
I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
All right, do you want to let everybody know where they can follow you? Do you want to let everybody know
Yeah,
where they can
follow me on
follow
Instagram,
you? I know you said it
Facebook.
earlier. Yeah.
No, you're good. Yeah, Instagram at the Snake God. God is GAWD, but it's all one word. And then Facebook, Dre Williams. In parentheses, you'll see the Snake God. Go ahead and shoot me a follow. Much appreciated.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll have you on again. And thanks for watching, everybody. And you guys are all beautiful. Till next